like this. The candy is free to you in exchange for your time, but the candy is not, as you may know, free. Like it doesn't. We just don't go and
pick it off a tree.
Right. The candy tree, right? So for every show, at least every show that goes well, we have a sponsor. That person is our sugar daddy, or sometimes our sugar mama, in this case. And tonight's candy is brought to you by Little Fishes Swim School and Coach Ruthie, who's here to come talk about Little Fishes. Woo! Now we're really playing with fire because we have four microphones, and just don't cross the streams. It's like Ghostbusters, I think. Hi, Ruthie.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited you're here.
I'm really glad to be here.
Okay, so tell us about Little Fishes Swim School.
Okay, Little Fishes Swim School is a swim school for children, primarily 6 months to about 6 years old, beginning swimmers. We have a small, right. Well, Milo swam with us.
Milo did. We'll talk about that.
Okay. We have a small pool, which we keep at 90 degrees, and it has salt water. Mm-hmm. And we have small classes to help babies and children start learning to swim.
So, what in God's name possessed you to do this?
I was a former Enron employee. We had a 3-person office in St. Louis, which they kept very hidden when the whole thing went down.
Awesome.
So I was on maternity leave when it tanked.
Good plan. Yeah. Way to go.
And I was very upset that they did not ask me to be in the Playboy Women of Enron issue, because being that pregnant was probably the best I've ever looked. But so I was off, and it was great because I stayed home. I wouldn't have stayed home. I would have gone right back to work. And while I was staying home, I was thinking,
what now?
What now? I really like not working for someone else and having to be sitting at a desk, and what would I like to do? So I love swimming and I love children, and with a new baby I took a lot of classes and met a lot of parents and developed the idea, and my son is now 7. We've been open for a year and a half, so when he got to school full time, it was time to launch it and make it go.
So I will say this, Milo has taken a swimming class at Little Fishes, and if you're wondering what in the hell does a 6-month-old do in the water, well, there's a lot of songs. Let me tell you that. You sing a lot of songs, and they do it's just like getting them acclimated, right?
It's getting them acclimated. Children aren't born with a fear of water. So the more you keep them in the water, underwater, putting their face in water, the better chance you have that when they become a toddler, they don't scream no and refuse to get in, which is no fun for anybody.
Right, and so this answers my question partly, because I was at a friend's house today, and they just got a little pool in the backyard, and I said, so your kid's taking swim lessons? She said, no, because you're not supposed to do that until they're 4. That's what she told me. I'm a skeptic.
Really?
I was like, what?
Because we have kids, we started 6 months. They are in with a parent until approximately 3 years old. Now, some 2.5-year-olds, they're ready, and they don't want to be held, and they want to be working on things and doing them ourselves. So 2.5 on up, we do 5 children and 2 instructors, and we work on kicking and blowing bubbles and the arm movements. And kids, the key to swimming, I always say, there's 2 keys to swimming. 1, put your face in, look down at the bottom, and 2 is to get in that Superman glide position. And if your child will do that, we can get them moving through the water. But most of what we do is the first 2, getting the children comfortable doing that, because it's not natural unless they've been doing it since they were a baby, and then they don't know any different.
Right, and the way you get them to do it when they're 6 months old is you sing a song that goes like this. You're going to love this. Okay.
Oh, yeah, hold the baby.
It goes, okay. Making a purple stew-wop-wop, a do-wop-wop. Making a purple stew-wop-wop, a do-wop-wop. Purple potatoes and purple tomatoes, and Milo is in the stew.
No, I have to do
the proper hold. Okay, then don't try this at home, this is not okay, but then she blows in his face, and he goes under. Seriously, and underwater. I'm not kidding you. He really does go under the water, and he comes up, and he's like, what? And meanwhile, the parent goes home, and at 3 a.m, you wake up, and you're going, making a... Why can't I get the song out of my head? I'm not kidding. Brian and I would walk around the house, like, making a purple stew all the time.
Did you worry, you're putting the baby in the stew, like you're going to eat the baby?
I did think about that, but mostly Brian was in the water with him, and I was mostly drinking coffee. The biker gang we ordered just arrived.
So the babies don't know that there's anything wrong with swimming underwater. So they come up, and if you look happy, they're like, wow, I did a great job. And that's how you get them comfortable. We do not do that with the babies.
I'm just testing reflexes, go ahead.
But the baby will propel themselves to the parent because they're under there and they're going, I like what I see over there. How do I get over there? And they will move themselves eventually and work towards you.
It's way fun. I recommend it if you have or know children and you want to go, especially in the winter.
The saltwater pool, that sounds great.
Well, it's 90 degrees, so it's like
going to that.
February,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, what can we go do? Get in a warm saltwater pool. It's pretty fun.
So where would they find out about this?
We have a website.
Oh,
We have brochures. The website is www.littlefisheswimschool.com. And I do, after the show is completely over, I can bring up the website where we also have the songs and pictures and video. And I'm sure there's a picture of Milo on there underwater.
Yeah, there is.
Uh-huh.
He looks great. Brian looks goofy. Sorry. Brian was like smiling underwater, and there's so. Well, this is really exciting, and again, I can personally vouch for the safety and delight of the child that I have there. So I'll vouch for yours as well. Your kid will probably love it, and if not, you can get your money back from free candy.
If your child doesn't love it, that's when we really go to work because
That's when you bring out belts and stuff.
no, there are actually, believe it or not, babies who cannot stand the bath. And it must be a nightmare for their parents to have to go through the screaming every single night. And we have actually found that our program, although it is difficult for the parent in the beginning and the screaming child and sometimes the other families in the class, by the end of the session, their baby is much more comfortable in the water and bath time is no longer a nightmare.
excellent.
Well, Ruthie, thanks very much
Yeah,
for the
thank
candy.
you. Yes.
Thanks for the stuff.
You're welcome.
And,
Holding the baby.
And thanks for holding Creepy Baby. Creepy Baby needs up. That's Ruthie, Coach Ruthie, and it's Little Fishes Swim School. We have all kinds of stuff up here afterwards.
Yeah, take that in, Ron. So Ruthie, I love it.
And Ron is sweating now.
They
boy.
are really, ooh.
Yeah. Well, we used to have this popular time on free candy. Does anyone remember what everyone's favorite part of free